Alrighty. Good morning, guys. How are we?
Yo.
Let's have a little... Where's that background noise? No, it's gone. Hey, Joey. How are you? Alrighty. So, German 40 today. First off, let's have a little chat yesterday. How did guys go yesterday? Nas had the goods. Finally, it powered up. I kind of was hoping that it dropped a little bit lower. Hey, Nick, how are you? Where's my pen? So I missed a lot of this. I did take a little loss on it and then recouped. But I was hoping... Where is my pen gone? Here it is. Okay. Where's the 15-minute chart? In the New York stream, I was hoping that we were able to push into this yellow zone, the yellow lines, or this red zone, and then push up out of there, but it kind of, that was it. It kind of stuck there and then never gave that little sweep. Created actual good entry, just I didn't trust that 15-minute candle. Then it pushed higher and higher and higher and higher. And I took a loss on this candle here. I was looking at this this whole area, this Asian high and pre-London high. I was waiting to see like at 4:30 around this time to see if we get like a little bit of a correction. On the 3-minute, it gave me an entry. On the 3-minute, it was this guy. It was this candle. So as soon as that one closed, as it pulled back, I entered on here. Stop loss was kept above here, more or less like 15 pips. Price, it pushed, then came up, and then it came down again, and then I got caught up, putting Matt to sleep, so I didn't get a chance to watch it. I thought it was looking good, so I just left it. Didn't manage it all, and then it just pushed straight up. So it was a bit annoying. Then it gave a good entry. After I gave it a second chance, once it swept all of these highs, it did give a good entry. So where was it? I think it was around something like this one, but it was able to actually maximize and then take about 40 pips on the next move. Oh, there we go. That's the one right there. Beautiful trade. Beautiful candle. So from up here down. Oh, wait, that's not it. No, it was that one. Oh, maybe I thought it was 40 pips. It was less. Anyway, it gave. Then it did drop later on. That was the good move. Anyway, that was Nas yesterday. Then it kind of just drifted. So I'm still bullish for Nas later on. I don't think I'm gonna trade it in London. But I do think we're just gonna keep on pushing up into these clean candles. So that is something I've definitely got my idea on. I got my eyes on like recovering this whole move that this was profit taking. And now I think we're just going to continue recovering. We've got CPI tomorrow, so maybe it's going to be a bit of a slower day today. For German, gold's been, we'll talk about German in a second. Gold's been caught in basically it's just been consolidating really in this area. We've had a few little pushes out of it, and then a little dip in the earlier this week. But more or less, the ranges have been fairly tightly contained. Oh, 1 second.
I'm going to be turning my mic off, mate. I keep having asthma attacks at the minute, coughing like an idiot.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. Sorry about
Very
that.
disruptive.
I had to sort something out. All right, so German 40. Okay, so where are we at today? What do you guys reckon? Are you going up or down?
We've just had a big push up, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's caught in this range. There's no real news. That's the problem. We've got over here Forex Factory. So yeah, we've got nothing. Haven't really got anything to deal with. So no real catalyst. I'm bullish overall. I really think that we're just going to continue pushing into the first 2 months. I reckon we've got a good chance to just keep on going up. We've got corporate earnings starting on Friday, so I would expect as usual. There's no real headlines. No real headlines. We've got corporate earnings coming up for the US. We know German market is highly correlated, like 80% correlated with the US market. Doesn't mean that it needs to follow, but we got corporate earnings starting Friday. The big seven, the ones that really going to sort of make up, like the big seven here, make up like 48% of NAS. When these guys start giving their earning expectations, this is where we can start to see NAS really push as well, and that will probably like German will piggyback off of it. Tesla is probably the least likely to post decent earnings, but Microsoft, Amazon, Apple maybe, but Nvidia definitely will post good earnings. So I think that's going to have a real boost, but I don't think a lot of them until like January 31st. But corporate earnings do start on this Friday, so it can be a bit of a choppiness going. A lot of the time, a good year starts with a good January. So this month for Nvidia is really still just kind of in no man's land, where we had that pullback, which is good. I really think we had needed that pullback, and now we're recovering a lot of the losses so far. And if this starts pushing up, and I do think we're going to make new highs and just continue this trend on this AI rally, I think Germany's going to follow suit. It's just a little bit more slower because the European economy is a little bit more suspect, but I don't see any reason why we shouldn't be overall bullish and look for any opportunity that anytime we do get a decent pullback or back to a decent support, until the world actually officially tips into global recession and they really start cutting interest rates rapidly, I wouldn't expect this to really overly correct too much. So I'm still going to be bullish, just a little bit careful with the timing, of course. As we're scalping, kind of the long-term trend is not as important when we're scalping in these sessions. Definitely not as much as if you're like investing or buying and holding or swing trading. So we've got to be careful in case the session is bearish. But you know, overall, I'd prefer to be taking longs here. Cool. Joey, you think it's going down? Back seat on the demo. Yeah, you explained why. Yeah, that's all good, mate. Buy to sell, Tom, you think? Yeah, cool. Let's see. We're just caught in the range right now, so it's kind of could go anywhere. We did have a little bit of a movement, bit of a spike. Our Asian session was pretty good. Moved 71 pips. And that did do this little drop, which basically the fast move was the false move. Recovered all the way, and then since it's just been going sideways. I would say that if we can at least break above. Yeah, man, I don't know about this area yet, so we really need to wait another 10 minutes for the London Open to show its hand. But let's put some levels in. So I've kind of cleaned up the chart, removed a lot. we've got our sessions. We've got our session highs, lows. I would say we've got this clean area above. If we can finally break down, I wouldn't mind seeing a bit of a sweep into these areas, and especially looking for a reaction from probably around this area. I would say that if we can break this time underneath 16,620, I don't think this will hold. So if we are going to break down, I'd be looking for longs from around this area. So we'll see though. We'll see what's going to happen. Brett reacted off a seller's trap there in the Asian. Seller's trap. Yeah, it's not clean. I don't think tomorrow as well. I don't think the market conditions for London Open are going to be very good when you've got CPI around the corner. But today I think we should get a good move. I'm pretty optimistic today. It's just got to see which way I want to put the risk on. Oh, I see there's other comments. ASMOFX. Yeah, good mate. ThinkVerse, shout out, good one. What's my thoughts on gold? Gold, I don't really trade this in London session. And I trade this because of the more in the US session. So I don't really want to do too much analysis on gold. A lot of the time, gold, this is the pink areas, which is like this London bit before the New York session starts, and you can really see how the better session is the New York session most of the time. So the London session, a lot of the time, we just get, especially in the early parts, because we're only going to be here for like, you know, an hour, 2 hours or so. A lot of the time, it just ranges. So ultimately, though, long term, I'm bullish. I think 2000 is the new floor for gold. I really just think we're just going to eventually bide our time. At the moment, the US dollar is having a bit of a recovery. But if CPI comes out as a lower print, then I think we just see gold continue being bullish, but I'll wait for CPI tomorrow. Yeah, Asian session as well. It's a bit annoying for gold. Okay, so 4 hour. We're really just in the middle of stuff. We've got a bit of supply up here. We've got a bit of demand down there. And then we're just kind of bang right in the middle of this area. So really, someone come on here and tell me exactly where it's going to go. And you're going to get so many different opinions because it can go anywhere. And I guess that's what makes a market, is that you get all these people look at the same area and have different ideas, and that's what you need. You know, you need buyers to sell to, sellers to buy to. So they need to make a market that looks appealing for both. If it was just looking extremely bullish, then why wouldn't you just buy? But at the moment, looks like market's hesitating, waiting for something. Definitely not as a clear read as yesterday. Yesterday, I had a clean idea, just had to wait for it to do its pullback. Today, I'd imagine that if we're going to stay in this range, if we get the right price action, if we get like a fake out above here and then coming back down, I'll look to trade to the bottom of this range, which would be about a 40 pip. I think that could be an idea. 3 hour. Yeah, I see this as resistance, eh? I think these are your two zones. Selling from NY Asia high if there's price action. Yeah, I got this. I think the same thing, Jim. But I've got to wait 5 minutes for the London Open. Alright, give me 1 second. I'm just going to go turn the lights off. Now it's not as dark outside. Gosh, something's pushing early. I wonder if it's just going to explode up. Nas is giving a bit of a push as well. As soon as Euro opened in this candle, this one here, it's just been bullish since.
Yeah, everything else.
Hey guys. Hey Hayden.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, good.
That's good, mate. What are your thoughts today?
I just logged in. I'm looking forward to going away actually.
Oh yeah, where are you going to go?
First Malaysia and then Vietnam, Da Nang.
Oh, Da Nang. Nice.
Yeah, have you been there before?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
I've
met
been
Sarah
to,
there. Met Sarah in
Ho Chi
Malaysia.
Minh.
Like she went
Wow.
when she was in when I was back in Oz and she was in the UK. It was like the halfway point.
Nice.
Have you been before?
Where?
Vietnam.
Malaysia? Ho Chi Minh. Yep. I have.
Ho Chi Minh. Oh yeah.
But- Yeah. So yeah, been there, but haven't been to Da Nang. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's really nice
It's
there.
good reports.
Mm.
Oh, good, thanks. Yes, I worked through. Wow.
Langkawi's nice in Malaysia as well. If you're going to go that
Mate,
side.
funny you say that. We were actually, my wife was talking about my wife's Chinese Singaporean, but grew up in Malaysia,
Mm.
and she said, "Oh, you know, a lot of expats they retire there." Really? Okay, I've been there. You should go.
Yeah. Yeah, it's beautiful there.
Put it on the list.
Mm.
So, what's the thoughts?
Here's London Open
was-
now, and I want to trade this range. I'm mindful. I want to trade this clean area. I'm not. I don't really see an entry the way I like it. But I'm bullish. I've been bullish on stocks for a while. It's just about trying to get the entries. I'm mindful of the New York high, given a reaction. And unless we're in here, I don't really like. Unless we're in at the bottom of this range, I don't want to trade anywhere inside of here. But this was too early for me because this was 6:45. So yeah, well early. And if it just powers straight up, it's kind of sucky. If I don't really want to plan counter trend. Is anyone in this at the moment?
Yeah, the wrong way.
Oh, the wrong way.
Currently the wrong way, but 5 minutes might be a different story.
Yeah, we'll see. This is a reaction area. I've got a little visitor. Hold on. Okay. It's a strong move though, just from as soon as Frankfurt opened. 77 pips. It's moved. These early moves are a bit annoying, aren't they? Starting the streams around like for London Open. German's been doing some nice little moves before for the German Open. If we can create a support or even a resistance around here, like either form a support and then push up, failing a buyer's trap, then we can look for that as being a high low to keep on pushing into this clean range, or creating the resistance up here but then breaking it. Can also give a move for about 30 pips. I'm careful not to get caught up into anything here. If it just pushes straight up, then I won't have anything because I didn't get a clean entry. Oh, Alan, you in? Good one. You'd have to wonder with all this Boeing news that if that's going to be good for Airbus as their competitor. And Airbus is on the German stock exchange.
Right or wrong, short term, I'm liking the look of the cells.
Okay. Yeah, just got to have a bias, huh? Just got to... German's usually good enough that you can get both ways.
Just got to break this little support here on the low time frame.
Oh, sorry, man. I was just checking Airbus. Compared with Boeing. Airbus stock rising. Sorry, man. Go and draw your lines.
You're right. I don't have it set up anyway. Yeah, I just like how we've just done that sweep over this area. I'd like to see it close below here though.
Mm-hmm.
We shall see.
Just gonna flick to all chart views so I can watch multiple time frames. Alright, so 3 minutes create like a little resistance. Do we trust that resistance? Closing above, NY high. So I'm just watching to see how this high is formed. If we can get a pullback. I'm wondering if this is the trend's going to continue. But if we can get a pullback, this will be where it's make or break. It's either going to be a buyer's trap, or we're going to be able to go and extend and create new highs and push for another 40 pips from here up to here. Oh, I just noticed, maybe that's why it's really confusing on this other one. It's not drawing any of my annotations. Yeah, sorry about that, gosh. You know, I'm watching on the Trading Nut stream. You weren't able to see any of the drawings. There we go. That's why it looks awful.
Oh, yeah. Gold's flying.
What are we at?
Oh,
20,
it's moved
34,
100.
100 pips? Holy man. Jesus. It's one of those days with CPI around the corner that I think you've got a lot of volatility and you've got a lot of volume, but it's kind of, it's like hitting the accelerator and the brake at the same time. Okay, watching carefully this high. Are you in gold?
Sorry?
Are you trading gold?
I was in the long earlier on and I just got caught up in a short earlier, but it's not playing the game. I'm not doing too bad. It's only a very, very minor trade, so I'm not too stressed about it.
Well, if we close inside of the structure, I don't see why it can't continue to 2039. All right, so is this? It's either going to be creating a higher low now to continue pushing up into this range, or it's going to be a buyer's trap. And the buyer's trap will probably be around this area, if so. If this was a fake out. So I'm kind of keen to buy, even though we're at this range. But what I think I'll wait for is just whether this is going to be a buyer's trap or not. Just going to see how it reacts back at this level again. So check if there's any headlines. Financial juice, anything that's crept up. Nothing scheduled, but when the media outlets open, nothing yet. Do you see the drama about the SEC with Bitcoin?
No, what was that? Do tell.
They you know, they're waiting to see if a Bitcoin spot exchange is approved or not.
Yeah.
And if it does, you can imagine that they're going to have ETFs where you can trade Bitcoin, and it's going to pump a lot of money into it. So you'd expect that the price of Bitcoin just rallies, or cryptos and like overall will probably benefit pretty well from it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So everyone's waiting for this decision, and then they're making the decision today, and then last night, on their Twitter feed, they announced that it got approved, and the price of Bitcoin jumped up like $3,000, and then a few minutes later, they said that was false and that their account had been hacked, and that's wasn't that no decision's been made. So then it crumbled like $6,000.
Wow.
That's huge volatility.
Someone made some good money.
And some people were lost as well. They were like, this is it here.
I doubt the hackers lost anything.
Exactly. Good one, Clem. I was thinking about them actually. Very sympathetic to the cause.
I wish they'd sent me a text beforehand.
Yeah, well, you know, you can imagine that before that decision's made as well, people that work at the SEC and people that are in the know, who would get a little nudge just beforehand.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? There's a rating chart about trading performance, and if you look at the performance of all the people in Congress, it's like
the public defender.
Bloody.
Yeah.
Oh, wow! Talk about corrupt. Just because they're on the boards of government entities that are making decisions about industries, and it's just crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I think they're on about 200, 300,000. The one on the banking board, she's her net worth is like $180 million. Like,
yeah.
like crazy shit.
You get ones that are on far less than that as well. The average take home would be like 80K, but they would have
And
like
multis.
multi-millionaires. Yeah. Sus. All right. 3 minutes come to a close, creating this little support. I'm going to take a little crack at this one. I am concerned it's going to be a buyer's trap here. So how this reacts is crucial. So if this is breaking underneath here, then get out. But we can, if this is just a reaction from these areas and this is just a higher low, then expect to see this close above and we just continue to push. So I'm in this one.
Oh, area here's concerning me.
What? Which area? Oh,
That
the
whole-
fair value area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, we've also got up here, so
Yeah.
which is going to get swept first?
So which is it going to go? Is it going to go up to down or down to up? So
Yeah.
like if this is failing here, get out. but I'm in this one to try get up to about 40 pips.
You just got to have conviction, don't you? I mean, like I've sort of, yeah, I'm in short from there because I thought, oh yeah, this is a buyer's trap. But
Well, it
who
could
knows?
be. It could be. And this, like the way
Could
the
be.
market's set up, is that it's you know, you can have
Either
different
way.
eyes. Yeah, you just got to
Yeah, absolutely.
watch a higher time frame trend or what you believe the move is going to be. I can see a case for this to be a seller's trap. Hence risk is going to be, you're going to be pretty quick on the trigger to manage this one. But I do think there's also a case that we could be bullish.
Yep.
Either way,
Agree.
whatever happens with this one, it doesn't hurt my feelings.
Yeah, my initial bias was to take this sweep and sell down to the Asian 50%. So, and that would the majority of that gap.
Can you hear Maddie behind me? Maybe she's telling me this is a bad idea. Baby intuition.
I think I heard of them.
Yeah.
Saying sell.
Funny that, Glenn. I think the Asian 50 is the same as the New York 50, isn't it?
Yeah, that yeah.
Pretty close.
Pretty close, yeah.
I was just measuring it up. Good.
Okay. This next candle's make or break. So if we can do a wick fill and break above here, if it comes back to entry, I might cut it. Yeah, I am, Space Joe. I am. I'm concerned that it is going to be a bit of a seller's trap. Buyer's trap, sorry. It's a tricky area. Okay. Yeah, no good. Get out of this one. So I'll let it take the low of the 15-minute doji, which will be here, but I only want that to be a little test and then push up. Otherwise, there's like just like that. If it can just retest the low of that doji and then flip bullish, then that'll be a good sign to hold. But if it breaks this low again, then I'll say sayonara to this trade. But the 15-minute can come back and just take the low of that doji. See if it flips. If it can break its high, then that was a liquidity grab. Oh, didn't like how that closed in the last second for the 3 minute. Tricky area trading this in this like top of the range. Oh, you're in many? Okay, come on. Creating a little support, confirmation of support, hopefully. Hopefully this is the support. And just don't want it to sweep these lows. Kind of is a little double bottom here as well. So it could, so I'm not definitely out of the woods. I can see a case still for the sellers. Any reason for gold run? No, I didn't. It's been. I feel like it's been trapped inside this. Like we have been getting some pretty aggressive moves, but the moves have really been short-lived. So I think it's just volume sort of building. It's been quite aggressive. Like I was saying, like it's kind of like having the foot on the accelerator and the brake at the same time. Like there's plenty of volatility and it's. And also, I think it's still we haven't really got all the heavy volume coming back yet. Still very early in the year, so it could be a thin market. Come on, just push out of this area. If we can push out of this area and then not do any like sort of a scary pullback, I would look to scale in. But I need to be I need to confirm that this is a higher low first and not a lower high. Oh, don't say that. Yeah, we're seeing some good moves on German for the last couple London Opens. At the same time, we've seen gold being pretty quiet. So if gold is moving, I wonder if we're going to have a fairly quiet German session. Come on, if we can get the 15-minute candle closing nice and healthy, that'll be a good start for this.
Looking good.
Yeah, so far so good.
This is where it tends to push me out because I sold at 16,702, and then because it hesitates so much, I tend to jam my stop right down the break to where I got in. So I'm hanging on my teeth.
Hello teacher thinks gonna dump. Oh. Doesn't look like a bias trap from here. But what it could do is it could break the highs and then fall from there. But so far so good. We're nearly at 1-to-1.
And that would piss me off.
Yeah. That's what
because I put the stops down.
That's what it did to me on well, actually, it wasn't really. I tried to take a London close trade yesterday on NAS, and the first one didn't work out, and then it pushed up quite a lot higher, to be honest, before it gave it a second chance, and had to wait a long time.
Oh, that took me out there.
Okay, 15 minutes, just about come to a close. Can we close above New York high? Okay, it's the 30-minute candle closing, so this is where it gets dicey. If this is if this 30-minute, throat's still recovering from this flu. If this, because the new 30-minute candle opened, careful that this isn't going to be a fake out. So I can appreciate that there's going to be a little bit of volatility when the new 30-minute candle opening. I don't want to give this too much time either, because it is a precarious position. It's just these scalping. I just want a quick move. I don't really want to wait around for ages. So yeah, it's taking too long. I'm going to cut this trade. Taking too long.
I just closed both my shorts, German and gold, and they've dropped ever since.
Oh yeah. There's
Murphy's Law.
yeah.
Oh mate, I literally closed it a few pips from the high. It was just getting a bit too.
It was taking. Yeah, German's a good move to. Oh, but you had shorts, did you say?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was the German was not a very big loss at all. It's tiny. The gold wasn't much either, but just kept on making higher highs.
I'll give this a second shot if I want to see it. I want to see it sweep something. To me, this is looking like a failed high now. So that's the buyer's trap inside of here. So now it should pull back. Now we can get the retest. But I think it needs to come down a little bit lower. I gave it plenty of time. Gave it, good part of 20 minutes to move and break this high. If it's not going to break this high, then there's no point holding it. Now, if you had a selling bias, that was the perfect area to sell from.
I took the 5-minute HPS shot.
Oh, good one. I didn't see it. I didn't have a 5-minute. Oh, you took that as your candle.
No,
as your first
three
candle.
across. Yeah, first one, yeah. Yeah, first one, and then.
And then this guy.
Still have it. Yep.
Yeah, nice one.
We gotta go.
Yeah, where are you targeting? Oh, don't say, because the market maker will watch.
Huh?
Saying where's the target?
That was my target, but I'm not in it now. I was liquidity.
Oh man.
Oh bugger. Just fill this little gap here. Oh, what's going on there?
Yeah, what have you done to my screen?
There.
Mm-hmm.
The bottom of that rectangle. You can't see it at the moment, but there was also there was some trend line liquidity that came through here that broke.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll expect it to retest.
Ali Panwani, can you tell me what topics to cover? Technical analysis. It's just about. I really think it's just looking at the one pair. Look at one pair at the same time. That's your best. That's the best thing. If you stare at it enough, you'll start to pick up the characteristics of that pair. Learn the range. Learn the typical range it moves in a opening session. Like the opening candle for London, the average is around 80 pips. So obviously that's the average. So you're gonna have more and less on days. But if you can understand like what a typical range is, it helps you set your targets and just really learn what moves the market, what moves the particular pair. So like for German, obviously it's the top 40 companies. So read a little bit about who are the highest market cap holders of these German 40. If you hear some news and it's one of the big ones like SAP, then there are going to be some days that your bias is going to be a lot easier than others. Understand how interest rates work with it as well for stocks, for indexes, how they're sensitive to monetary policy. But become an expert at one thing. Once you do that, learning price action for anything is actually a lot easier. And just always as well, it's all about risk management. So even at best case, you're still only going to be right. Like, let's say if you're right 50 to 70% of the time, then it's what makes you really profitable is your risk management. And don't get carried away trying to be right every time, because the market's so many different participants. It's impossible to be right. So if you're a perfectionist, you got to cut that out. And then yeah, that's my biggest advice. Just be consistent. Be consistent at the charts each day at the same time. Put some time in, studying it, backtesting it, review your day, and just give it time. Okay, 3-minute closing. Is this going to be a fake support candle? Or is this the pullback before we can make a new high?
Let's put that post in.
In the Discord?
Mm.
Okay, I'll have a look later. Oh, do you mean look now?
You don't have to. Probably not. I'm a bit embarrassed.
Oh, okay, I'll look at it after.
No,
That
you
was
can
a
put
good
it
call,
in.
Glenn.
Huh?
That was a good call. Your call. Down to the 50%. It's almost there.
Yeah.
It was almost there. It was very good.
It hit there. Yeah, it hit.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's all right.
Be embarrassed about.
Yep. That was where I would buy
Yeah.
from.
Pick your chin up, Glenn. You'll be right, mate. we're supporting you.
I'll need a tissue.
I'll have a look
Gold
at
is
it.
a pain.
Tissue box.
I'll do the gold screenshot in a minute too. That was very sucky.
Oh, hey, son of a bitch. Yeah. Look. Oh, sorry. Far out. That's a while.
Hayden, I've got a technical question you might be able to help me with.
Yeah, mate.
When I look at Glenn's screenshot,
Yeah.
it's just got the red and blue arrow and the dots between them. But when I do that, when I put the trades on mine, it's got the prices as well.
I've noticed that. Mine did it sometimes as well, where it puts the price. I thought it was a. Have you got an EA running? You got Magic Keys on?
I've got Magic Keys on.
I
Yeah.
think it might be Magic Keys.
I'm pretty sure I had it before Magic Keys.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, just if anyone knows how to get rid of them,
Yeah, because
Maybe
it really covers the screen, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Let me have a little look. I wasn't like I never noticed it for a long time. So I feel like it's a new update to MetaTrader. You're on MT5, aren't you?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll have a little peek.
You want MT4, Glenn?
No, it's
No,
MT5.
This is what my screen looks like. I'll just put it in the chat. It's like a hairy echidna or something.
Look at this.
Who taught you, Tom?
It's all these prices.
Yeah, some guy, some dodgy
Wouldn't
guy.
be distracting, would it?
Check your settings, and then see what's that color, like cyan color or something.
Yep, will do.
Because if you've only got one thing that's that color, then you just then you'll know what's causing it. If you turn
It's
off
just
trade,
properties, isn't it? Colors. Here we go. Foreground. Light sea
no,
green.
it's not. It's not foreground. At 5 minutes looking, man, it's what a tricky area. I want to long it. So I don't want to change my bias. But I am concerned this is their resistance. But after being the failed high here, figured it needed to drop back, so there was no point holding it. So it was a good move cutting it. Now, having completed this gap here, is that the 5 minute candle that's going to have picked up liquidity to continue this trend? I still consider this area above tradable. It's the price action that's here that I need to decide whether it's worth putting the risk on or not. Oh, I'm not sure if I saw that before. I was looking at the 30-minute chart and I saw this as a clean candle. This one here. Right? And then when we go to the 5-minute chart, it was just a little bit off my screen, so I never actually investigated that 30-minute candle. But it's actually a bit of a consolidation here. And that's right where we got stuck at. There's a little bit of oversight from mine. So it's not as clean. It's not as a clean candle as I thought it was. Like this area, where it's got all these these little sticky area. So I can understand why, if this was a little consolidation that funded that push down, that there's going to be some residual orders here. So that's what led to this. If we can close inside of there, then I think this is actually going to be a fairly easy move. Fairly easy 25 pip push. go, maybe. You want this to hold. If it's going to have a shot at pushing and actually starting the trend higher, this level, we really want it to hold. Do I trade Euro, USD, US yen? No, I only trade the German in the mornings, and then I'll play around with gold or NAS in US session. I will do some currency trades, but not often. Come on, German. Push. Come on, break above. So far, so good.
Are you in that trade, Hayden?
Yeah. Yeah, it was that 5-minute candle.
Yeah. Yes. I'll talk up and we'll come on, like if I talk in a minute.
Because I can just drive back.
What strategy do I primarily trade? It's hard to pigeonhole because it's kind of my own, but I'd say it's support, resistance, and liquidity. understanding that price, other than like having a bias and seeing trends, price will move from one key area to another key area. So it's just understanding the price action around those key areas. So it's mix a candle, price action, understanding like how liquidity works, how a market works between buyers and sellers. And then I really like fundamentals too. But the fundamentals really make it, you know, they don't really tell you your timing. The timing for fundamentals is more about having an idea for the future. The technicals is helps with the timing. I like trading market opens. Market opens is where I find fairly predictable price behavior. Fairly predictable. Understand that there's manipulation as well. But you usually get good volume in the first like hour of a market open. You're welcome. I don't really have any thoughts on pound yen. I'm bullish yen for this year. If they actually start to stop talking a big game, like every single time they talk the market up. This I'm talking about the Japanese, like the Bank of Japan and the government. They talk a big game, but that's their way of currency manipulation. They actually, every time it comes to actually changing policy or whatnot, they walk back on their comments. So you're just constantly seeing yen really struggle against other currencies because of their monetary policy. But they are, given how shorted the yen is, it does have the highest potential, like it's the dark horse for 2024. Pounds is looking good as well. Pounds fairly strong because their economy is like they're kind of still struggling with inflation. But in terms of like actually giving ideas and levels, I haven't looked at that chart for a long time. This level just doesn't want to let go, does it?
Sorry, Aidan. Where did you get in on the German? I was on FTSE at the time, so I didn't see it.
Once this candle had closed, and then this one here, I was playing around. It was inside this candle.
Yeah, I'm in a FTSE trade at the moment, but it's behaving almost identical to DAX this morning.
Oh, is it? Where's FTSE? Oof, look at it. Just up and down, hey. See, gold had the move up 100 pips. So I'm wondering what is moving this. Gold moving up 100 pips. I would say did Dixie drop? Trying to work out if it's the US dollar moving or if it's something else. If it's the US dollar moving, FTSE is very, very sensitive to the US dollar. More sensitive than German. So I'm guessing it's something else, eh? If German and FTSE are moving similar, can't be the US dollar. But then what explains the gold move? US 30 is kind of stuck. NAS is drifting higher. Yeah, yen can be erratic, very volatile. man. It's going to come all the way back to the entry. Okay, first hour is in, just about 52 pips. So it's a small. It's only, we haven't got much volume today. It's definitely one of the smaller ones for this year so far. So far, the volume could come late, but we started the year. Monday was closed, so here's Tuesday. So this is the first day of the year. You can see that the first hour is a massive hour. Then the next day, the Wednesday, first hour is actually pretty quiet, but then the volume came late. This Thursday, decent volume for the first hour, pushed up 83 pips. Then Friday last week, it was a little bit slow, and then yeah, it's a bit of a slow week. Then this one, start of this week, Monday, the first hour moved to 62 pip range. And then we got it, the second hour of the London Open is much nicer. And then yesterday we got a good hour. You know, moved 88 pips in the first hour, so a good range. This is the slowest one so far for the year. Now, this doji, can we create a resistance we can push up? Or let's have a look at the hour candle. Hour candle's looking alright. One thing I'm concerned about is just it's not breaking out of this level. Like this little zone. I want to see something close inside of it for it to be able to push up. As long as it's failing and keeps on rejecting it, eventually the buyers will give up. And then we can just be stuck in this range again. Maybe this is it. The new hour where we get the volume. It's going to secure a little bit, so in case it does fall back into this range. Now secured, it can fly. What indicator is that for the session blocks? This is one of the members coded. It's got a few little features that's he put on that I like, so we're using his one. But a very similar one is Sessions by Lux Algo, which I think it's open for everyone. This one, Sessions, but sorry, let me change the color scheme. Sessions by Lux Algo, that one. That one's a good one. And just be mindful the way I've got my sessions set up. I really like sessions. I really like having individual sessions as well. So this is my Asian session, and there's a little bit of discrepancy in or not discrepancy. What's the word I'm looking for?
Francis, I don't think so. Well,
What was that? Oh, Dave. You must be on the phone.
Right.
Okay, little bit of some people use a different Asian start and finish time. So I know ICT people would use something different. I know Beat the Market Maker will use something different. For me, it's just whenever New York session closes, that's the start of the Asian session. And for me, this yellow area is what I call pre-London. So it's the 2 hours before London session starts. So I've got like, some people will use, part of this will be Asian session still. Depends on the person. And then for me, a lot of people use London as the whole London session from London open to London close. But I set my London session to end when New York session starts. So it's a very distinct box. I don't have that overlap. Otherwise, if you do the overlap, I find your session highs and lows get a little bit merged with part of the New York session. So I'll show you if you guys want to check it out, then this is the timing that I use for mine. But obviously, it's a personal preference, so people should use what they find is effective. But I find these session times really, really good. Because to me, I find London session ends when New York session traders come in. I know there's overlap, but now you've got a mix of sessions. So you'd almost treat the overlap as something distinct as well. If you had like 5 sessions on here, but then you're getting too many colors, too many charts. So it's good to keep things relatively simple. It's complicated, but it's as least complicated as I can make it for myself. Okay, come on. If we can close inside of here, I'll actually add. So I have scaled out, but I'll look to re-add if I get another confirmation. But I'm very mindful of this being a fake out. And if you can preserve your capital, and if you can make sure that you last long enough in these charts, in these markets, to learn how they work and learn the price action, then that's really the best thing, because it's literally is about gaining experience. And if you can know you can come to the charts and you don't really put your capital at too much risk, then you can have a clearer mind as well to explore these ideas that you have. And these are just ideas. They're not all going to work out. You've got to think, even the best traders, even if someone said that you got a 75% win rate, you're still wrong quarter of the time. And if you can't understand or can't learn how to manage your losses, then it only takes one of those 25% of your trades that just really kill your profits. Come on, break. Okay. 3-minute candle closed nice. This guy closed higher than these these necklines, but not above these wicks. US 30 is propping up DAX. Yeah, that's very highly correlated, because you've got, there's probably multiple reasons, but especially with NAS, US 30 to a degree, but NAS, where you've got a lot of, half of NAS is made up just 7 companies, and of those 7 companies, SAP company is integrated into all of them, and SAP is the largest market cap by German in the German 40. So you can imagine that if these tech stocks continue to do well, SAP will continue to have a market as well. Yeah, a lot of the US, like S&P is a lot of the same companies that are in NAS are in S&P 500. US 30 is a little bit more, a little bit less. But then in terms of like the other ones that are similar to German, you've got the European stocks 50, French 40, German 40. The difference between the stocks 50, German and French 40 is you don't have an Asian session. That's why I like the German 40. Is that it's the biggest. It's got the highest. It's the highest traded asset out of the European indices, so it's more liquid. And it's also got an Asian session, so you find French 40 doesn't have an Asian session. Just for this morning session, I'm trading the US 30. Yeah, I mean, if you can, price action is price action. End of the day, like I really don't mind what you trade, what anyone trades. The reason why I think it's good to trade one thing though is that it's hard to manage all your levels and zones on multiple things without updating them regularly. But if you've got a chart set up and you've spent some time analyzing it and seeing where it can go, then price action is price action. End of the day. These indexes, these are cash spot price that follows the actual index. So it means we can trade it. I mean, you could trade individual stocks, but then you'll need a broker. Don't I use order flow? Not really. Find order flow is not a well-defined concept. Cool. Push. So we're finally broken to that level. See, it just took time, didn't it? Took time to give in. Had to tap into this area multiple times, but as soon as we still couldn't even, if we got a nice closure inside of it, it's an easier trade. Closing just underneath it's a little bit annoying, but once it gives fast, Now I don't see why we can't continue up to pre-London from yesterday. To this Asian low area. I see this is the next area that we have a little bit of conflict. So another 10 pips, I should continue pushing. Annoying that it was basically as soon as I secured like 50% at this point. And then it pops. Just hesitated so often here, so anyway. Yeah, order block is another word for it, isn't it? Consolidation, order block. Do I like the Renko chart? No, I don't. I don't like Renko. Because Renko's doesn't give you the proper price. If you, oh, sorry, no, I'm not thinking Renko. I'm thinking Heiken-Ashi. Yeah, Heiken-Ashi is the one that I don't like. I've never looked at Renko. Doesn't Renko just takes out the wicks, doesn't it? I don't know. But I find I was thinking Heiken-Ashi, because Heiken-Ashi is never actually. This is an average of the high and low in some calculation, but that's not actual spot price right now. That's why I find Heiken-Ashi, I don't like it. But there are people that love it. I'm not going to say any way is a bad way of trading. It's just whatever's the right way for you. If you like scalping, then I make my living from scalping. From swing trade, I don't do so many swing trades. I prefer to be in and out of the market. Sorry, creative view. At least isn't it more detailing, and you can know the aggressive sellers and buyers? Wait, what are you talking about? Order flow. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. I think we don't have the right information to really see the true order flow. We don't really get to see the footprint, the depth of market, the what's actually coming into the brokers, and all we can do is this is my take. All we can really see is price movement and what happens. We can't see when a big order comes into the market. We can see signs, we can see clues, but we can't actually see that, oh look, an order came in with this lot. So the brokers can, but we can't see it. So anything that trades order flow, I think, is just a price action based on what happens. And if you can get you can get the same information by reading we can get similar information from reading the candles, whether someone wants to call it order flow or someone wants to call it structure. Yeah, I don't really have a great answer for it. Cool. All right. Well, we made it. That was the target for the day. I was hoping this was going to be the higher low, but it failed to make the higher low. Price pulled back. Exactly what Glenn was saying. Euro 50%. Still held that bias. I'm on one that is very stiff on my bias. I don't like to change my bias. So we got a support created from lower. Nothing actually changed the structure of the market. It was still very much upside, and I had a longer term bullish bias. Just took a while to break down the orders that were in that order block. And then eventually when it popped, it was actually a really clean, fast move. Then it hit the next, this is the Asian low. This is our pre-London low from yesterday. And now we're seeing a reaction from there. So that was a reaction point. So cool. Yeah, like if you, this is the thing, lead left hand, it's you will look at this and then it very much so can be scary to get back in or give it a second chance when it does look like this. But if we're looking at like the 30-minute chart, it really was just, you know, it was a nasty pullback. We don't like seeing these pullbacks, but there was nothing really that changed the structure too much. You know, like the hour candles just look clean. Hour look candles with volume, it just looks like a deep pullback, but the market was trending higher. It just looks nasty on the low time frames. That if you can't visualize where you wanted to see the hour candles go to, then it's very easy to get lost and tied up on these low time frames and see this as something that's significant and change your bias. And you know, people still would have been able to take a winning sell. This still moved down 50 pips. So it didn't matter the bias you had, whether it was bullish or bearish. The main thing was having a bias and then executing on something that lined up with your bias. If you're just waiting to see price action without a firm bias, you'll feel a lot of the time, I'm not speaking for everyone, but a lot of the time you'll just feel lost and confused because you'll see everything. The way the human psychology is set up is that you're always fearful of things. So you're fearful of a loss. So even if you had a bullish bias, you're fearful of getting in case it loses, even though if you're, yeah, I'm just leave it there. You just stick with your bias, give it one or two shots. Price action, we can't make the market move when we want. A lot of the time it moves after we want. So it's about if we see signs like price had a chance to break up, and as it was pushing down, cut the trade because it had a chance to break higher. Gave an entry from lower down. That's still in line with the bias. If it was breaking under here, seeing an entry, then you know maybe I'd have a different. I'd just say my bias is wrong. I'll have to sit back and wait for a new idea. But that was the targets. The targets was a good session. I thought there was something for everyone. There's something 50 pips for sellers, and 90 pips for buyers. Sorry, Glenn, I cut you off. Were you going to say something?
Me? No, I've been sitting nice and quiet.
Oh, I thought someone peeped up and as I was talking. Lila found I was contemplating take the bullish fair value gap, so I didn't. I got in when M5 closed above the high. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean it can be scary buying when it's something's coming down, isn't it? It can be super scary. But some of the best trades are the ones that are hardest to get into, in terms of like you just feel like it's wrong. But that's what they want, you know. It'd be easy to look for sells when it was prices pushing down. And that's exactly what they want. That's the manipulation. They need to make. If it was just looking very easy for buyers, who are they going to sell? Who's going to take the other side of the trade? How will they get their fill? And there's nothing wrong with 1-to-1s. Nothing wrong with that at all. Sometimes a late entry gives you the most confirmation, but obviously you sacrifice risk reward. Cool. What's other comments? Do I know anything about dark pools? For whom right is supposed to show the orders that have been placed and waiting. There's some indicators that meant to show that, isn't there? But I think they can only get their data from certain places. I don't think it's like encapsulates the whole market. But yeah, I think when you can see, there are some ways to see orders coming in. In terms of like, especially how often prices repricing on the tick charts can give some clues. It can tell you something better than your eyes can, because it can read all these little micro moves. But same thing, the quality of the data that you're getting, I'm sure the brokers control a lot of it. So if it was so effective, there wouldn't be a market anymore. Cool. Alrighty. Well, I'm going to close the trading nuts side. I'm still going to continue on my channel for a bit longer. Okay. Like a little bit longer. So channel's Haydos FX on YouTube. Okay. I'm going to try playing a couple of little ideas to keep an eye on, but I'm basically done for this session. Okay. I'll plan some levels. Might have a look at gold chart quickly, and then I think we'll wrap things up, and then yeah, there's no New York session today, just London. All right, trading nut guys, thanks for your time. My YouTube channel, just stay on. We'll still talk about it a little bit more. Okay. All right. Cool. Oh, you see a bunch of people leaving as well. Dave, Brett, you got to go. Okay, so it's just us now. Just my YouTube channel. Trading nuts done. Cool. All right. So I think that was a pretty solid move. 80 pips from the low to the high. Some levels I got my eye on. If we can see, we're kind of in this range, aren't we? So I wouldn't think that this high is a strong high. So I would just be trading structure, I think. I think we can really push up into this level that's been flagged for a while. So I guess the next, if we can push up from here to 16,800, just be mindful of the broker that you're using. This is Pepperstone. So 16,800 it might not be 16,800 on if you're trading another broker. But if it can push from this low, wait, where's the London low? Because that's the pre-London low. London low is 16. Okay, so from this one, from here up to that grey area, up to here, this is 140 pips. That's a good London session. You can see the numbers You get some outliers, 300, 200, but most of them 115, 100, 126, 123. That if we can get a clean move, say the next hour candle pushes up, and we take out this liquidity that's resting above this green box, which is the New York high, London high, another New York high, and then sweeping the Asian high, London high, and pre-London high from yesterday. If we get price action, I think you can get a reaction down to the monthly level, and that would be around 40 pips. If that happens in the London session before New York starts. So I'm going to set an alert there. Set an alert, and I'm going to wait for price action. If I'm around, I'll take it. I'll look for a buyer's trap. So something that pushes up. Something similar to this. Something similar to this price action just here. But at that level. Anywhere around here. Yeah, price push up, come down, push up, and just really hesitating to break. It would get like a rejection wick, liquidity wick, something that breaks the high of the previous candle but doesn't close above the high of the previous candle. If you get a rejection wick and a retest, I'll look for that to be a buyer's trap. Trade down this thick monthly level. This thick black line is the monthly close, last month's monthly close. So these are always going to be little sensitive areas. So that's what I'm going to look for. I'm going to aim for something like more or less like this. More or less like this. And the idea, the confluence will be, ultimately I'll look to trade up to that level. My trade's closed out, unfortunately. TP'd now. If we can get up to here, it's going to be exceeding that range. And I think if we get rejection wick followed by a retest, then I think you can get a 40 pip correction. Just buyers take profit, you know. Yeah, that's kind of it. Oh, Aaron, hi all. Sorry I'm late. Yeah, it was tricky. It was tricky, but we got there in the end. Yeah, sweeping all of this liquidity. Clean move up. I think if you get the reaction, I think it's a decent move, decent shout. Now gold. Gold. Gold, I haven't really done too much analysis on it, but I think this liquidity grab is going to fund the move up. So I think if it can even pull back to and create a support above this Asian high again, I think we can look to target back up to 2050, and this is just part of a bigger range. So yeah, any supports above 2030 to 2032, I'd like to see New York session push back up to like 2048. And then after that, I think the threat of CPI is going to be too great tomorrow. So I think we might find hesitation for any big sort of moves. Cool. And Nas, I'm just bullish on it. I really think we're just going to continue powering up higher. So any pullback, any break below a previous session low, or if London session, no, if we get New York session, showing signs of support from around here, I would use that as the new low, and then continue pushing up towards. I think we're going to go for new all-time highs again. All right, that's me. I think we're done. For the session. So appreciate you guys. Did you have any questions for me before I go? YouTube, I'm gonna end it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. YouTube, my Zoom people. Any questions for me?
Yeah, you got to see. Hey, don't.